The difference between successful diagnostic techs and those not so successful has little to do with age or experience and everything to do with education and process. Today in the trainer, we focus on the latter, the diagnostic process. Now, when we talk about diagnostics, we tend to think about drivability issues, don't we? But anything that goes wrong with the car, anytime it starts working contrary to the way it's supposed to, is a diagnostic situation, isn't it? Brake complaints require troubleshooting. Ride complaints require troubleshooting. Even wind noise requires troubleshooting. It's all diagnostics. And no matter your current skill level or experience, you can vastly improve your success when performing diagnostics by following a step-by-step process. Begin by confirming the problem you're attempting to repair. Verifying a check engine light may be easy enough, but some other issues are not so simple. Question the customer directly if you need to, in order to be clear in your mind what they're complaining of. Take him or her for a test drive. Ask them to show you what their complaint is, especially if you're dealing with a noise or ride quality problem. With the problem verified, move on to a visual inspection. Look for obvious signs in the systems you're focused on. Pull any related codes from the control modules if need be, but don't clear those codes quite yet. And remember that the visual inspection is also a good time to write down any other needs that you can uncover. It's also a good way to get a better feel for how the car has been taken care of and provide additional clues as to why it's unhappy now. Note the mileage, the condition of the fluids, belts, and hoses. Now it's time to do a little reading. First, review any related technical service bulletins that you find. Many times, problems are solved by new software or updated components. If that's the case, you can diagnose all day long, never find the answer. So save your time, do some research first. Next, read up on how the system that your customer is having a problem with works, especially when performing engine performance or electronically controlled system jobs. These are not all the same, and they cannot be diagnosed with a cookie-cutter approach. And no matter what service information service that you're using, most have some form of subscriber database that may hold additional insight into the problem that you're dealing with. Be sure to check that while you're there too, but treat it with a grain of salt and not as gospel truth. Then check out online resources that are proven, like the International Automotive Technicians Network and Identifix. Again, if you do find a possible solution to your customer's problem, test and verify before you just buy it hook, line, and sinker. Professionals don't guess, they test. Last resource is a general Google search. There are lots of enthusiast forums and repair websites out there, some hosted by experts who are nothing of the kind. Treat the answers you find here, especially if it's from a source that you've never heard of, with distrust until you've verified it yourself through proper testing. With all your research completed, it's time to move on to the act of actually diagnosing what's wrong. Take a moment to think about what you've learned about the problem and the vehicle systems involved. Ask yourself, what are the most likely causes of the problem based on your new knowledge? Now design a test that will allow you to confirm that belief or to narrow that problem as quickly as possible. There's no reason to perform a single cylinder leak down test, for example, until you performed a cylinder balance test or relative compression test that will check all of the cylinders at once. Once you have the subsystem identified, you can move on to a more detailed pinpoint testing procedure to isolate the exact problem. In many cases, the OEM will provide you with a valuable tool, their very own diagnostic worksheet. These sheets outline, in order, specific steps to take to isolate a problem and successfully repair it. If you do make use of these work aids, be sure you know why you are performing any given test asked, and you perform the steps in the order given. Failure to do either will just cause you frustration and confusion and waste you time. Performing any diagnosis need not be more of a pain in the neck than necessary, and your odds of quick success will go up dramatically by following the step-by-step process based on the tips that we shared with you today. Of course, investing in your education will also go a long way to making you a more effective technician. That's why I'm proud to tell you that we're offering scholarships to any professional that asks, covering the full cost of training at Automechanika Chicago this April. Click on the links that you'll find at the end of today's video for more details and to lock yours in. but do it fast. They're not going to last much longer. That'll do it for this edition of The Trainer. I'll see you next month.